This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan. John Scholes will be along in just a bit.
But topping our news this morning, Tim Kaine and Mike Pence will hit the stage tonight to come face-to-face in the vice presidential debate.
ABC's Maggie Rulli is joining us from Farmville, Virginia, where preparations are already underway hours before the debate begins. The debate will take place at Longwood University in Virginia, and Maggie is there now, and we'll talk about our own vice president coming up after Maggie has this report.
Good morning. The anticipation here at Longwood University is building. As we're waiting outside, the Secret Service is completing their security sweep inside, getting everything ready for tonight as the two vice presidential candidates will take center stage for the first and only time as they gain the nation's attention. Tonight will be their biggest moment of the campaign so far. The vice presidential debate at Longwood University in Farmville, Virginia pits Hillary Clinton's running mate, Democratic Virginia Senator and former Governor Tim Kaine, up against Donald Trump's number two, Republican Indiana Governor and former 12-year Congressman Mike Pence.
We have two seasoned politicians who know how to talk in rough terrain and respond to difficult questions.
Kaine, a former Harvard-trained trial lawyer, has been in intense debate prep. Pence, a former radio talk show host, has been preparing for this debate in overdrive, making sure he avoids the criticisms of being unprepared that dogged Trump after his first debate. Both will have their jobs cut out for them. Kaine building up Clinton in a state that she needs to win, while Clinton spent the day in Ohio bashing Trump's taxes and rallying the state.
Toledo is the kind of place where people work hard, look after one another, and yes, pay their taxes, right?
Meanwhile, for Pence
has a lot of defense to basically steer away from some of the things that Trump says.
Tonight, that means addressing Trump's current tax controversy, something the candidate talked about last night.
The unfairness of the tax laws is unbelievable. It's something that I've been talking about for a long time. You've heard me talking about it, despite being a very big beneficiary, I must admit.
An ABC News Washington Post poll found that 40% of Americans could not name either party's VP pick, so they'll have their work cut out for them tonight. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Farmville, Virginia.
Thank you, Maggie. All right, yeah.
Farmville.
Farmville.
Isn't that a game on telephones?
Oh, it is. I think it is. I always get notifications for those.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
Well, some big changes from the Hurricane Center over the last 24 hours. We've kind of pushed that cone a little closer to the state of Florida, and where before we were just being grazed by noon yesterday, we were just grazed by the cone. Now we're squarely in the cone part of Florida. So it's certainly something that we have to watch very carefully over the next few hours, and in fact over the next few days. Over the next few hours, I'm afraid Haiti is going to get hammered, just really hammered. They have a bad situation there with a increasingly large eye wall of a very powerful major hurricane. Lots of inundating rainfall. Could get 40 inches of rainfall. You can see the eye just expanding there in the last few frames of this enhanced satellite imagery as it moves closer to Cuba. That's what they will be dealing with over the next probably 3 or 4 hours. And then later today, Cuba, the eastern tip of Cuba, gets hit by that same storm. We'll then watch the system emerge into the Bahama Island chain, where hurricane watches are in effect, and take a forecast track that takes it too close for comfort to the Florida Peninsula, which we will talk about in our main weather in just a few minutes. A few scattering of showers. Things look pretty unchanged from what they did 24 hours ago. I expect to see more of that heavy rainfall that we saw yesterday occurring at around 4, 5, 6 o'clock last night. Daytime highs will top out near 90, and our rain chance remains high at about 60%. We'll have the complete forecast track of Matthew coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, taking a look at Suncoast roadways right now. A lot of standing water from the overnight rain, so be aware of that. Give yourself a little extra time, a little extra space. In Manatee County, everything's pretty normal. State Road 70 right around 301, both east and westbound on State Road 70. A little bit of more volume than usual, but everything else in the county is looking good. And Sarasota, that too is pretty free and clear of any volume, let alone any incidents. Now, from the future vice president we just heard about to the current vice president, Joe Biden emphasizing how important Florida is in the general election during a stop here on the Suncoast.
Yeah, Biden held a campaign event stumping for Hillary Clinton in Sarasota yesterday. He said Florida was the key to the election, telling the crowd that Donald Trump won't win the presidency if he loses the state. The vice president spent a lot of his speech going after Trump, including on foreign policy. And on the issues of taxes, Trump responded to an attack by Clinton in last week's debate by saying avoiding paying taxes makes him smart. Biden had some strong words rather in response.
Says, I don't pay federal taxes, possibly for 18 years or more. And then he says, that makes me smart. What does that say about my father who busted his neck 70 hours a week, making sure that we had food on the table, making sure the neighborhood was safe, making sure that he was doing his part? Dangerous leaders in the world.
Biden asked Florida voters to do their part in this election by voting, since the state has been won by notoriously small margins in past elections. Election officials in more than 20 states, including Florida, have requested help in blocking any potential cyber attacks that could interfere with the election. That's in response to reports of attempted breaches into several voter registry databases. Sarasota and Manatee County supervisors of elections are making sure to stay on top of the issue.
We're on top of it. Homeland Security is on top of it. The FBI is on top of it.
We're just going to be cautious of it. We're watching. We have not seen any incidents at all.
Officials say the election system is so complex it would be extremely hard to change the outcome.
Beginning today, millions of vote-by-mail ballots will be sent out to voters across Florida. Nearly 2.5 million ballots in all will be sent out. And so far, more than 1 million Republicans have requested ballots for the general election, as well as about 900,000 Democrats. Another 450,000 Floridians affiliated with a minor party or no party at all have also asked for ballots to be mailed to them. Secretary of State Ken Detzner expects a very high voter turnout during this presidential election year because there are so many ways to make voting possible.
We here in Florida, we have got many options to vote. You can vote by mail. You can early vote at early voting locations, and you can find those early voting locations by checking with your supervisor of elections or going to yourvoteflorida.com.
Almost 2,800 mail ballots have already been filled out by military personnel or residents living abroad. The deadline to register to vote for the general election is Tuesday, October 11th.
Back here on the Suncoast, tensions between the city and the county of Sarasota may be on the rise again.
This time it's over payments funding improvements to downtown Sarasota. ABC 7's Ray Collins has the story.
For the past 30 years, since 1986, Sarasota County has written annual checks to the city of Sarasota to fund downtown improvements. But then the county decided it wasn't going to renew the 30-year contract. If that didn't cause enough city-county tension, there are also differences in whether or not the county owes one more payment.
The 30th payment? Is this rocket science?
Local resident Matt Sperling did not hold back when he heard about this dispute.
We need lawyers to figure out if we have paid 29 or 30 times. Dysfunction.
Monday, city commissioners discussed options as to how to get that disputed $4.5 million from the county.
We can't keep second guessing, and maybe they won't like us or something. We just need to be strong.
It's too much money to just sit back and say, oh, well, we're afraid that, we might not be able to get along with the county. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference one way or the other,
Commissioners voted unanimously to take the next step toward getting the money, but it might not be easy. An assistant county administrator gave us this statement. It said in part, the downtown CRA sunsets in fiscal year 2016, which ended September 30th. This has been stated in several previous resolutions approved by both the county and the city of Sarasota.
The city of Sarasota sued the county on other issues before, and we still travel down the road.
And while the city hasn't ruled out suing the county, this taxpayer is furious.
I think the question for the city commission is how are they going to come in front of the voters and keep us from simply joining the county, being unincorporated. They seem perfectly happy in Casey Key and Siesta Key, lowering our taxes, and a bunch of people in City Hall lose their job, just like in corporate America.
So at the commissioners' next session in 2 weeks, they will further discuss their options. In the newsroom, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Ray. Well, it's now safe to hit the water again on local beaches. The no swim advisory that was in effect on 5 beaches in Sarasota and Manatee counties last week has now been fully lifted. Health officials lifted the advisory for Turtle and Nokomis beaches yesterday. They say the latest test results show that bacteria levels meet federal and state standards. However, red tide is still impacting the area. Community leaders and local law enforcement will gather with residents in Northport tonight in an effort to promote cooperation. It's all part of the 33rd annual National Night Out. The event is focused on crime prevention and offers the public information on what they can do. The National Night Out in Northport is one of the biggest in the region. It will be tonight at 6 o'clock at Northport High School.
People looking for housing in Manatee County are closer to being able to live in the old jail. According to the Bradenton Herald, an evaluation committee says Bernard Grogum has met the minimum requirements for his proposal submission. The committee also found the proposal to be responsive. The plan is to turn the building into workforce housing. So both the committee and Grogum are exchanging a list of questions that they would like each other to answer about the project, going over issues including finances and safety. A follow-up meeting will be held to review the questions at a later date. The new temporary Venice Public Library is just hours away from opening. The new library on North Nokomis Drive will open today at 10. It includes a large collection of books, DVDs, magazines, and newspapers. It'll also have expanded reading areas, more computers, and a children's area. It'll be open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and then 10 a.m. to 5 on Wednesday and Friday and Saturday. The former Venice Public Library is closed last year after the library had issues with mold. And construction will soon begin on State College of Florida's new library and learning center. Speaking of libraries and learning centers.
It's all about the libraries. SCF's president, board members, and other representatives celebrated the groundbreaking ceremony yesterday. The new library will go up right next to the Neal Performing Arts Center on SCF's Bradenton campus. It will include a student service center, archive and meeting rooms, and a film production studio cafe. SCF's president calls this space transformative for its students.
This is where students will go to expand the knowledge that they get in the classroom. This is where they can get resources from a librarian, where they can reach out outside of the books that are within the confines of that building through technology to expand their learning.
When we are making an investment in a facility like this at the state level, we are empowering people to go throughout the state and create jobs and create economic opportunity and to innovate.
The project will cost more than $17 million. SCF is also working to raise more than $1 million for equipment and furnishings. It's expected to be done by January of 2018, and they say it's going to be extremely high tech, so they got to keep up with all these advances that we have. I mean, we learn differently now than we did in the past, so.
That's true.
You got to keep up.
Looks nice.
It does look really nice.
It's a great place for
it's fun to be a student nowadays.
Yeah, don't you know?
Yeah.
Don't you know? Big changes coming up, I think, in the forecast over the course of the next couple of days. Complicated forecast. We'll talk about that in just a few.
Talking about that forecast, Governor Scott is now declaring a state of emergency in Florida as Hurricane Matthew hits the Caribbean and heads ever closer to the Atlantic coast. More on the storm coming up.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory. It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just
get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go. The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Consumer Expo is coming to the Venice Community Center October 7th and 8th from 9 to 3. There'll be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 90 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy great food from area restaurants and see new boats and cars in the outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber Consumer Expo, sponsored in part by ABC7.
So Matthew now bearing down on Haiti, producing very heavy torrential winds there, is forecast to move over Cuba and then perhaps impact the state of Florida. There may be some hurricane watches issued for parts of South Florida as early as later this morning. So we'll continue to monitor for that possibility as we head into the lunchtime hour. 77 degrees, the current air temperature. We have a dew point of 73, making it feel, again, really humid outside. We have deep tropical moisture locked in place over the state. A little bit of cloud cover out there, north-northeast wind, fairly light right now at about 5. 74 degrees, Mayaca, 73 in Northport, Arcadia, and in Wauchula, 74 in Parrish, 73 in Bradenton, and Venice and Inglewood both have 74 degrees. Longboat Key comes in at 75. Oh, did we get some heavy rainfall yesterday. Yesterday afternoon and evening, we watched this trough of low pressure, deep tropical moisture, and daytime heating all kind of just team up together to give us some powerful impacts, especially from about Venice southward. Got some 5-inch rainfalls yesterday. I mean, just tremendous amounts of rain. And as we head into the next several days, we certainly have the potential to see more heavy rainfall around this afternoon as well. This line that you can almost make out here of showers that crosses the state is a trough of low pressure, and that's helping to encourage the formation of these showers. Right now, during the overnight, we had some showers that occurred, and we right now probably have some ponding of water on roadways in some locations, or at least some slick surfaces. So be careful of that this morning. Heavy rainfall during the morning commute is not in the forecast, but coming home tonight, there may be some big storms around. This trough of low pressure, the high pressure area to the ridge, a trough back to the west, and a high pressure ridge out in the Atlantic, all kind of interacting together to determine what happens with the eventual track of Matthew. They sent out a jet plane to investigate the area in advance of Matthew yesterday, put that information into the computer models, which helps to refine the forecast. And sure enough, most of those computer models nudged the system closer to the east coast of Florida. As it moves out into areas of the Bahama Island chain by as early as tomorrow, we'll start to watch more showery activity along the east coast and higher wave action along the east coast as well. We can expect several days locally of rainfall caused not so much by Matthew, but just by the deep tropical moisture and the trough of low pressure. It becomes very breezy here Thursday as the storm system approaches. These are all the computer models, and you'll notice they kind of cluster and push a little closer to the east coast of Florida. Some of them are the good computer models that we call the more accurate ones, and they tending to converge on a solution that brings it closer to the state of Florida. A Category 4 storm moves over today and tomorrow. Cuba Island exits out into the Bahamas probably as a Cat 3 and gets very, very close to the Florida coastline. On this forecast track, tropical storm force winds may indeed touch parts of the eastern seaboard, maybe even some hurricane force winds. There may be some hurricane watches issued for these parts of the Florida peninsula. Our area, probably in the 20 to 30% chance of a tropical storm force wind, minimal or more likely a gust. I don't think winds are going to be our big issue. We'll have a general offshore wind, so no damaging winds around here. But we could, if that storm gets close enough, see some stronger thunderstorm activity around here, and there's always the possibility of isolated tornadoes. It all depends on how close that storm gets, and we'll be watching it day by day. Northeast wind at 10 to 15 today, and over the course of the week ahead, we'll be watching the tropics very carefully Thursday and Friday as it makes a close approach. Right now, we'll trend down the rain chances for the weekend as we stay on the dry side of the storm, but that could change. It's what's called a changing situation. Back to you guys.
Thank you, John. As far as your commute this morning, it's already changing. We're starting to see a problem there in Manatee County in the downtown area. Be aware that at 9th Street, it is partially blocked at 30th Avenue. I'm not really seeing any slowdowns, though, because of it. Palmetto bridges are clear, so is the interstate. A couple hot spots there at State Road 70 heading east before 301, and also a little issue there southbound on 41, a little slow there at the State Road 70 intersection. Other than that, the interstate free and clear of any accidents or delays in Sarasota. Looks like 41 and the arteries up to 75 are pretty much moving along nicely at this hour. And as far as South County is concerned, we're seeing smooth sailing there. Just be aware of the wet roadways. Well, students at one local elementary school are hitting the dance floor instead of the books.
ABC7's Linda Carson has more on what the school is celebrating.
Bayhaven Elementary School students are celebrating their school's 90th anniversary by dancing the Charleston, the most popular dance back when the school was founded, and singing the school's alma mater. Principal Chad Erickson says Bayhaven was built during the boom years following World War I by architect Leo Elliott.
He built our schools based on the Roaring '20s population boom in Southwest Florida, and we needed a north side school and a south side school, and Bayhaven is the north side school.
It was built for 600 students at a cost of $77,000.
The first 6 years of Bayhaven's history, the Great Depression hit Southwest Florida as it did the United States, completely decimated the economy.
In 1933, Sarasota public schools closed due to lack of funds, but Bayhaven stayed open.
The PTO organization at Bayhaven was so strong, they had enough parent volunteers and enough fundraising to keep the school open during the Great Depression.
Because the parents pitched in.
They worked in the kitchen, they solicited money from neighbors, they tried to have parents bring in tuition money.
Bayhaven has had a number of firsts in Sarasota's history.
Starting the first kindergarten in Sarasota County, we're the first school that was desegregated in Sarasota County.
And they had the first in-school library. Bayhaven is a magnet school.
We require our parents, teachers, and students to sign a contract saying that we'll be engaged, saying we'll make good behavioral choices, and saying that we'll try our best academically each and every day.
Students and staff say Bayhaven is like their second family.
Everybody's like so nice to each other, and they're like, act like they are your family.
And they're thrilled to celebrate 90 years of serving Sarasota County students.
90 years is so long. I think a long time ago, I'm not 100% sure, but I think my great-grandma went here, and it was she said it was really nice coming here, and I think it was probably really nice. And I just love the school, and I'm so excited about 90 years.
Happy birthday, Bayhaven. Congratulations on 90 years of teaching Sarasota youngsters reading, writing, and arithmetic, and also responsibility and respect. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda. 90 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was out there during Hermine to talk to the parents about going to school during the storm, and yeah, they were all still getting ready for the 90-year birthday celebration. It was awesome.
Not letting them stop them. All right, well, still ahead of Good Morning Suncoast.
Facebook's latest feature is backfiring against the company. We'll show you how people are using it to violate the website's policies coming up.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
It is 5:27, and Facebook had recently unveiled its new eBay-like service. People, though, they're already using it as a black market for illegal items.
ABC's Kenneth Gibson and Diane Macedo have the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook taking the wraps off its new shopping feature.
It's called Marketplace, and it's supposed to compete with Craigslist and eBay. But people are already using it to sell things that violate Facebook's policies, including drugs, animals, and adult services.
Well, Google is unveiling its new smartphones today, but it won't be much of a surprise.
That's because promotional images of the Google Pixel and Pixel XL have been leaked. The phone will reportedly have a screen with Gorilla Glass for protection, plus a 12-megapixel rear camera. And Ford is bringing back a classic. Social media started buzzing after a union rep confirmed the Bronco is making a return in 2018.
No word from Ford on the design, but with cameras, USB ports, and navigation systems now in Ford SUVs, you can expect a more high-tech version compared to the Bronco of the 80s and 90s.
And those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Cat's Pride.
We call what you're experiencing communication issues. Tiffany, why did you dookie on Eric's pillow? She needs a better smelling litter box.
Seriously?
And no dust. And stronger clumps.
Well, we both want those things.
What you both want is Cat's Pride Fresh and Light Ultimate Care.
Cats are complicated. Great litter is simple. Look for Fresh and Light Ultimate Care in the green jug, the best performing lightweight litter.
So she's leaving me all those dead mice because she loves me.
No, she's doing that to terrify the dog.
I laugh, I sneeze, there goes my sensitive bladder. Sound familiar? Then you'll love this. Incredible protection in a pad this thin. I didn't think it would work, but it does. It's called Always Discreet. Watch this. The super absorbent core turns liquid to gel for incredible protection that's surprisingly thin. So I know I'm wearing it, but no one else will. Always Discreet for bladder leaks.
Hello, I'm Whitney Stewart, the current National Boys and Girls Club's Youth of the Year.
And I'm Haley Wilkes, news anchor for ABC7. Please join us for the Women in a Changing World panel discussion. You will hear from a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, senior vice presidents from Disney and Tupperware, a New York Times senior writer, and an Alaskan Native poet.
For more information, please visit womeninaChangingWorld.com.
Hurricane season is here, and Suncoast weather can go from this to this in seconds. So when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast storm team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology so that we can bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
Plus, we focus on the Suncoast and track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Hurricane season is here. We'll make sure you're prepared. Watch our hurricane special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, Governor Scott issuing a state of emergency as Hurricane Matthew getting closer to Florida. We'll have the latest.
Plus, Attorney General Pam Bondi looks to protect consumers from scams during the hurricane.
And getting alcohol shipped to your door, how some people on the Suncoast can soon skip a trip to the liquor store.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. And John, all of a sudden, we must be wary of hurricanes bearing simple names, very docile names. Matthew doesn't seem very ferocious.
Like we've said for a week, do not turn your back on this storm till it's north of North Carolina. And, that's exactly the case here. The Hurricane Hunter aircraft, not the ones that fly into the storm, but the ones that fly around the storm and kind of sample the environment, the jets, the G-force. Sent back information yesterday that they dumped into computer models, and the models have shifted a little bit more toward the state of Florida. And now, certainly the east coast of Florida could have some real issues with this storm. And battering surf, heavy rains, winds to tropical storm, even hurricane force winds along the east coast of the state. We have less of an issue here, but we can still get some impacts from the storm. Right now, Haiti just getting hammered by an eye wall about to make landfall on the very southern peninsula of the island. Now, initially, those winds will be offshore of that cove that encompasses the capital, Port-au-Prince, but eventually, within later morning and into the afternoon, those winds will turn back in that direction, and flooding and storm surge is going to be a problem for that capital city. So rough conditions in Haiti, that storm inching closer to the Bahama Island chain and then possibly to the east coast of Florida, getting too close for comfort. Right now, we don't have to deal with that. We have to deal with showers and thunderstorms like we had yesterday, possibly again this afternoon. Good chance of that at about 60%. And boy, did it come down in buckets yesterday. And that could happen again this afternoon. In fact, several more days of some very heavy rainfall possible before we start talking about the possible effects of Hurricane Matthew on the east coast of Florida. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways, as we've been saying all morning, be aware of standing water, a lot of water, slick roadways. And right now, 9th Street in Manatee County is partially blocked at 30th Avenue. That's in Bradenton, so be aware. 9th Street partially blocked at 30th Avenue. If you're commuting in that vicinity, be aware of that. Also, well, everything else in Manatee County is moving along without any problems right now. Sarasota County, too, is not having any issues, no issues or delays, but as we said, maybe want to leave a little extra time just because of the lot of standing water this morning. So be careful when you're driving. As far as news is concerned, Hurricane Matthew that we've been talking about all morning now becoming deadly, claiming at least 3 lives as it makes its way through the Caribbean.
Now Haiti and other island nations are bracing for its impact as the Category 4 storm approaches with 140-mile-per-hour winds. Mary Maloney has the details.
Hammers, drills, and chainsaws. People in the Caribbean using them all, attempting to get ready for Matthew.
If we are not prepared, then disaster will catch us unaware.
The storm is a wet one. Parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic may see downpours of up to 40 inches. Eastern Cuba and some of the Bahamas could see up to a foot of rain, and Jamaica could see up to 10 inches.
What is heading our way is something that Jamaica has not seen in decades.
250 miles above the storm, cameras outside the International Space Station captured views of Hurricane Matthew. The eye well-defined, surrounded by massive clouds. The United States is carefully watching the forecast.
FEMA is deploying officials to state emergency operations centers in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina.
Multiple cruise lines rerouted trips to get out of Matthew's path, and governors in Florida and North Carolina have declared states of emergency.
If Matthew directly impacts Florida, there will be massive destruction that we haven't seen in years.
Our goal is to be over-prepared and hopefully underwhelmed.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
And in Cuba, Hurricane Matthew has forced the evacuation of 700 family members and pets of military personnel at Guantanamo Bay. They were all brought to the Naval Air Station in Pensacola as a precaution. Support organizations have come together on the base to help with providing everything from food to toys. They also planned activities like movies on the lawn to make this ordeal less stressful. The families will stay in Pensacola until it is safe to return to Cuba. Meanwhile, detainees and military personnel still in Cuba will be staying in solid concrete buildings and will shelter in place through that hurricane.
State Attorney General Pam Bondi activating Florida's price gouging hotline once again as Hurricane Matthew approaches. The activation comes after Governor Scott declared a state of emergency for all Florida counties. Bondi says scammers may use the threat of the hurricane the impact of the hurricane to prey on customers. State law prohibits extreme increases in the price of essentials like food, gas, hotels, and water during this declared state of emergency. Anyone who suspects price gouging should report it to the Attorney General's office by calling 866-9-NO-SCAM. Back here on the Suncoast, developers are looking to the voters to decide on a housing project on the north end of Longboat Key. At a meeting tonight, developers will ask the town commission to put a referendum on the ballot that would determine whether or not 10 homes would be built on a commercial property. Brista Homes wants to buy nearly 2 acres of land in the 5600 block of Gulf of Mexico Drive from the Moat Scientific Foundation for this development. Also, more parking will soon be available in Bradenton. The new parking lot across the street from the Manatee Performing Arts Center is set to open next month. It'll have space for 200 cars. Valet parking will still be available, as well as a shuttle from the parking garage to the center. The Performing Arts Center closed on the $2.5 million deal to create the parking lot last May.
In consumer news this morning, alcohol delivery in the Sarasota-Bradenton area will begin tomorrow. According to the Bradenton Herald, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits has teamed up with the delivery company Shipt to begin this service. For $99 a year, Shipt members can receive unlimited grocery deliveries from Publix stores, as well as alcohol delivery. Members will receive free delivery for alcohol deliveries on orders over $35 throughout the month. Next month, there will be a $7 delivery fee for alcohol. Items in stock at ABC stores will be available now for delivery, and those can come as soon as 1 hour after ordering.
A former star running back at Booker High School has become the all-time leading rusher in USF history. Marlon Mack, a former ABC7 Athlete of the Week, broke the school rushing record this past weekend in South Florida's win over Cincinnati. He gained 118 yards against the Bearcats in his 28th game of his career, giving him 2,755 yards for the record. He opened his college career with 275 yards in his very first game, and he won the League Rookie of the Year that year. Mack is still just a junior. And after just one season on the job as hitting coach for the Miami Marlins, Barry Bonds has been fired. The Marlins finished out of the playoffs for the 13th straight year, and they scored the third fewest runs in the National League. They did finish, however, second in the league with the second highest 263 batting average. The playoffs set in Major League Baseball, starting with the wild card matchups. Tonight, one game to move on to the division series, and Baltimore will travel to Toronto to play that one-and-done series. Whoever wins will play Thursday in the division series, and then tomorrow night the Mets and the Giants will battle in New York. So it'll be interesting. Last night, speaking of Giants and New York, the New York Giants lost their Monday night matchup to the Vikings, who are looking pretty good this year. Yes, I know John, he's become a baseball fan all of a sudden. He's looking for playoff tickets, right, John?
My wife is huge in baseball. She loves the Rays. Absolutely loves them. Yeah, absolutely loves them. Yeah.
That's good.
Big fan.
A lot of fun.
We have showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for today, and of course we're carefully watching Matthew and the forecast track. We'll talk about that in just a few.
And forget about making an appointment with doctors. A new program at some of the top cancer institutes allows patients to mail in their testing. We'll explain coming up.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's time to upgrade your favorite news app. Now, ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a dynamic brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Stay connected anytime, anywhere with breaking news and weather alerts, video on demand, and live streaming of your Suncoast News. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store. ABC7's all-new My Suncoast News app. Just another way we're here for you. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's at FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Matthew is one to watch as we head into the next 3 or 4 days. Right now, just hammering on Haiti. It will eventually move its way north to Cuba, producing some really rough weather in the eastern tip of the island nation, and then on into the Bahamas, where hurricane warnings are now up. 77 degrees currently in Sarasota with a dew point of 73. Nothing really rough about our weather right now, that's for sure. 74 Wauchula, Arcadia, same. Mayaca, the same. Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport, Punta Gorda, all at 74. A little bit warmer right along the immediate coastline. We had 76 degrees, Longboat Key, 75 in Venice, 75 in Inglewood. So yesterday, the biggest news was the heavy rainfall that we got, and we got hammered with some heavy rainfall. From Venice southward, big storms through Northport. 5-inch rainfalls were reported. And it's of note that Becky in Mayaca reported 5-inch rainfalls over the weekend at her house. So there has been a lot of rain over the last 4 days across our area. And there's more to come today and tomorrow as our atmosphere just remains saturated. In fact, from this line of storms, which is actually a stalled frontal boundary, northward, the air is very dry. And then below that, the air is just tropically moist. And so consequently, again today with little daytime heating, I think we'll see more showers begin to develop, especially during the late afternoon and into the drive time home. We had a few overnight showers, left some of the roadways a little slick. Watch for that. The frontal boundary itself is just not going anywhere. Part of the energy of that system will sink southward. Another part will kind of lift northward. That will allow for a little bit of a weakness in that trough that's eventually going to steer Matthew. And that is the reason that we stay in the deep tropical air, getting showers and thunderstorms, and also why the computer model has taken Matthew and pushed its eventual track a little closer to the east coast of Florida, and why there may be some hurricane watches going up for the east coast of Florida as early as this morning, possibly. With the 11 o'clock update from the Hurricane Center. We'll wait and see if that comes about, or maybe they wait till a little later in the afternoon, but possibly this morning. We may see some kind of a watch for the west coast of Florida as well, possibly in the form of a tropical storm watch. Maybe. We'll see how that plays. We expect several days of rain. It'll become very breezy Thursday, and we'll watch Matthew closely. On the forecast track of these computer models, the center line, the best track, has been nudged a little bit further toward the east coast of Florida. On that track, it moves up through the Caribbean into the Bahama Island chain, and as a Category 3 storm just skirts the eastern coast of the United States, hanging right along the coast all the way up. That is a horrible track in terms of flooding damage all along the eastern seaboard, and this is going to be a very expensive storm if it does that. The impact on us will probably be a breezy wind at about 20 to 25 miles per hour Thursday and Friday. Really rough seas, you know, it won't be great boating weather, but it'll be an offshore flow, so we won't have a big flooding problem. We will have to watch for the possibility of some heavier rains if the storm gets a little bit closer to us, but currently I think it may dry us out a little bit. We'll see. Northwest wind, northeast wind rather, at about 10 knots, 10 to 15, and the official Suncoast forecast calls for good chances of rainfall today and tomorrow. We'll be watching the tropics carefully Thursday and Friday with updated forecasts throughout this week, of course. And then the weekend so far looks really good as the storm system pulls away. Back to you guys.
Thank you, John. As far as your commute right now at 549, still seeing that accident in Bradenton. That is right there at 9th Street and 30th Avenue. It's blocking and partially blocked at 30th Avenue. The bridges at Palmetto are still moving along well. Not seeing really any major issues so far on our roadways. The interstate is clear all the way from Ellington down into Sarasota. A couple hot spots on 301 just before Fruitville Road in both directions, but nothing to slow you down too much. The arteries out to 75 are still clear. 41 also looking nice and smooth into Venice and Northport. The interstate still clear. Just be aware of the wet roadways this morning.
All right, 150,000 people with breast cancer in the U.S. have tumors that have spread, but researchers are looking at ways these patients can help treat their own disease.
Scientists at Harvard, the Dana-Farber Institute, and MIT's Broad Institute have started the Metastatic Breast Cancer Project. And as part of that project, patients who have cancer that has spread mail in saliva kits for genetic testing, along with tumor tissue samples and medical records. And using that data, researchers are hoping to find better ways to treat patients and improve survival rates. 2,600 people have already participated in the crowdsourcing project so far. All right, that sounds amazing and interesting. Another way to find a way to beat it, exactly. Well, stay with us.
We'll be right back.
Let SWC Properties sell your home today. Take advantage of this great market and sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. SWC Properties gives you the benefit of full-service marketing that sells your home faster with the fewest hassles. There are no hidden fees, and now for a limited time, we'll list your home for 50% off. Wouldn't it feel great to save thousands and feel confident with your move? Give us a call for details or visit swcproperties.com and contact us for free information packet and find out why. It's simple. We just market your home better.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. Looking to bring more nature into your life? I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we talked to Beneva Flowers about how to get more plants both at work and at home that work for you. We chat with Open Arms about an important issue affecting surrogacy for those looking to conceive. Plus, makeup artist Mickey Williams is back, and we celebrate Taco Tuesday. Baja's Boys Grill will join us in the kitchen. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
ABC 7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Welcome back. Here's what's coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. Round 2 of the presidential debates promises more fireworks between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Both sides gearing up for the big event tonight. People living along the Suncoast, or the Atlantic coast actually, of Florida are now preparing for what could be a Category 4 hurricane as Matthew heads that way. And Venice will once again have a public library as a temporary location officially opens today on North Nokomis Drive. The old location had to close due to mold issues.
All right, forget doggy bags. Dogs in Pennsylvania are getting their own drive-through. Bane Invaders opened its doors in Northampton County, and owners can pick out from various meats, vegetables, and fruits for their dogs, as well as add a few items for taste and preference. Owner Amanda Brown Steiner says she's hoping to expand her business across the region.
Fancy, fancy.
Yes, and
Nice.
finally this morning, big day here at ABC 7 as one of our own is celebrating a big anniversary. Meteorologist Wendy Ross celebrating 40 years with us. She started her television career on October 4th, 1976 with the station, which was then known as WXLT ABC 40, and she joined the crew as the 6 and 11 weather woman. 3 years later, she moved up to Tampa, where she stayed for 20 years before coming back to her roots and helping out here on the weekends and filling in for John when he's out. Yes.
We love Wendy.
Oh, she's the best.
She's so special.
She is so sweet, so nice.
Congratulations.
And what a lot of experience, huh?
Wow.
Can you 40 years. I
She's
think she and Ed
incredible.
James are the two people who have been here longest at this television station.
Incredible.
Seen it change dramatically.
Yeah.
So.
Everybody knows her around
Congratulations,
town.
Wendy.
Yeah, congratulations. We love you. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.